Okay, my dearest students, welcome to your English class. So let's see. I don't know what happened with the rest of the student, but today is Monday. It's a kind of difficult to start, okay? Let's see. Good morning again, Irene. Good morning, Jackie. Welcome to your class. So, my ladies, as you know, we were talking about the difference between, well, not the difference, they are to translate and to being an interpreter. So let's have a review. For example, the first question for today, well, I got two. The first one is, what is translation? And this is a partial question. So I'm going to start with this one. My ladies, I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Well, I'm going to give you 1 minute and 30 seconds. Yes, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Could you please, because this is a question that I'm going to include it for your next partial. So could you please write down your own definition, please? What is translation for you? This is question number one. So I'm going to give you 1 minute and 30 seconds. Please write your own definition, just 2 or 3 lines, okay? Just 2 or 3 lines. It is gonna be okay. Okay. So let's see, 1 minute and 30 seconds. What is translations? What is translations to all of you? Oops, I don't know what happened with Jackie. Maybe her internet is not working.
Good morning.
Good morning, welcome, Ale. So the first question for today is, what is translation? Could you please write down your own definition, okay? Just 2 or 3 lines at least. It's gonna be okay because this is a question that I'm going to include in the partial, okay?
Okay.
Okay, you got 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Remember, there is a difference between translate, to be a translator, and to being a interpreter, okay? So what is translation? Okay, let's see, Irene, could you please turn on your audio? Thank you. You got your own definition?
But I don't know if that is okay.
Okay, don't worry, please.
Okay, for me, it's the action of translate paragraph, lecture, or text carefully without
Mm-hmm.
mistakes, finding the appropriate translate in a
Mm-hmm.
good way.
The proper, okay, nice. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Ale, what about you, please? What is translation?
Okay. Is the action to transform from another language to another to make
Mm-hmm.
clear the message.
Okay, let's see. Look at my definition. Well, this is a definition that comes from Macmillan's examples. Okay, what is translation? Translation is the process of changing a writing text from one language into another. A successful translation effectively communicates the message and meaning of the original text. A professional translator converts writing text into a new language. This can include anything from brochure and signs to websites or, in this case, books. Translators are typically expert in certain subjects or industries. Their specialization gives them enough background knowledge to capture the meaning of a given text and translate it most accurately into the target languages. So now the second question, because remember, as I said previously, we got two questions. So the second is, what is interpretation, ladies? What is interpretation? So I'm going to give you 1 minute, 30 seconds, and please write down your own definition. Hi, Jackie, you got some problem with your internet?
Good morning, teacher. Yes, at the beginning there was a little blackout, so for that reason I disconnect.
Okay, don't worry. So now we are working on second question, okay? What is interpretation? Could you please write your own definition? You got
Uh,
30 seconds. Hoy van a hacer su primer simulacro de traductores, chicas. Y eso lo voy a evaluar también, lo voy a tomar como evaluación. No se preocupen que va a ser fácil y les voy a dar tiempo para que se preparen. Les voy a dar algunos tips también. Algunas diferencias también de cuándo se es traductor y cuándo se es ponente. Así es que todo eso lo vamos a ver ese día y van a hacer su primera práctica. Okay, Irene, I'm going to start with your definition, please. Ready?
Yes.
Excellent, thank you. Please, Ale, be ready because you are the second. So, Irene, what is interpretation for you?
Is when someone focuses in the main idea of paragraph and in a spoken language, or even when that person is speaking with someone else.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Alessandra, what is interpretation for you? And please, Jackie, be ready because you are the second.
When someone tries to transmit the something that someone else said with clarify as the original idea.
Okay, thank you so much. Jackie, please. What about you? What is interpretation for you?
Okay. Interpretation is the act of translate in a way of speaking one language.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's see. This is another definition. Interpretation is the act of converting spoken words from one language to another in real time, usually performed by a professional interpreter. Interpretation can take place in person, by telephone, or through a video call. You may need interpretation service anytime you're working with partners, clients, or customers who don't share your native language. Professional interpretation service can include one-side interpretation, over-the-phone interpretation, and real-time digital chat capabilities. So let's see. What skills does an interpreter need, and what skill does a translator need? So please pay attention to the first one. Could you please, Jackie, help me to read the first paragraph, please? Thank you.
Okay. Interpreters need excellent skill in both the source language and the target language. If they can't follow the context of the conversation, they can't paraphrase in it a way that preserves in its meaning. That's why professional interpreters must be fluent in both languages.
Okay, thank you so much. Teacher, which method do you use? It depends on the situation. For example, I don't know if I mentioned to you before, but 3 weeks ago, I had the opportunity to be an interpreter. Well, not an interpreter, no. I had the opportunity to be a translator because I was participating in my church, um, giving some information for a priest that who came from Orlando, Florida. So I remember the first time I get nervous because I haven't been practicing before, because the last time when I began as a translator was 2 or 3 years ago. So right now I decided just to teach in English, but I didn't have the opportunity, and I didn't have the time to take an opportunity to continue doing this one because I don't have time, but I like it. I really enjoy it. But the problem was I haven't been practicing before. So at the first time I get confused because I remember he said, en África viven 8 millones de personas. And I translate to, okay, in Africa they were living from 8 million years ago, something like that. So I get really confused because I got nervous. So why I mention this one? Because you are going to have the opportunity. All the teachers, all the English teachers have all the opportunity to be a translator or an interpreter, but it depends. It depends. For example, if you are interpreting something, you have to look at this one. You have to follow the context. You cannot paraphrase. It means like you cannot invent. You cannot invent. Okay? So it mentioned that the professional skills. So later I'm going to show you what kind of degrees do you have to need, because you can work as an interpreter or you can work as a translator. But remember, this is just for a hobby. You don't need to have any degree. But if you want to earn money, if you want to get an extra money, yes, it needs. And it's a demand to have a skill. Okay, could you please, let's see, Irene, help me to read the second paragraph. Thank you.
Okay, since they work with the spoken word, interpreters are orally fluent. They know the spoken custom, regionalities, and colloquials of each language. However, they don't attempt to interpret what is said word for word, trying to directly convert a sentence into another language in real time would prevent the original meaning from being transmitted clearly and confuse both parties. Instead, paragraph phrases lies at the heart of interpretation. Interpret, listen to the spoken word, understand their meaning, and transfer them into new words in the target language.
Okay, excellent. Could you please, Ale, could you finish the paragraph? Thank you. Oops, Ale, you ready? Oops, maybe she got some problem with the internet. Okay, I'm going to conclude by myself. Subject matter expertise is also an important part of an interpreter's arsenal. Familiarity with a given subject is beneficial during highly technical discussions, especially when parties might use different words or acronyms for certain terms. Okay, um, it depends of the stage. Okay, it depends on the stage. I'm going to teach you the difference between to being an interpreter and to being a translator, but it depends on the stage. You are going to use the skills because some people they don't like to have a translator. They prefer to have an interpreter. But as I said, it depends of the stage. For example, look at question number 2. And remember, all this information is gonna be included in your English partial. So what skills does a translator need? Okay, Jackie, thank you. Could you please help me to read the first paragraph?
First,
Yes, thank you.
like interpreters, translators also require linguistic excellence in both the source and target language. They must also understand both the idioms and colloquialisms of the source language. They need to translate. Typically, trans- typically, translators are native speakers of the target language.
Okay, the problem is when your opponent, the problem is, well, not the problem, the detail is when your opponent speaks the two languages. For example, if you are going to work as a translator, you have to be careful if your opponent speak Spanish and speak English too. Because 3 weeks ago, I had the opportunity that the priest who comes from Florida, Orlando, Florida, he can, well, yes, he can understand like a 60 or 70% of Spanish. So the detail is you cannot invent. You cannot invent. I remember because I really got nervous. I forgot to say corona. I really forgot it. So I used a synonym. And he made a stop and say, I say corona. Yes. Oh my goodness, yeah, that's true. So, it is crown. So I get nervous. So in that specific moment, I get nervous. So I forgot how to say corona in Spanish, in English. So and he made a stop and say, hey Gabriel, I said corona. So oh yes, it is crown. Sorry. So the detail is You have to know if your opponent speak the two languages or more than two languages, okay? Because what is gonna be the detail? Because you can get bars in front of the rest of in front of the audience too. So I'm gonna give you some tips and I'm gonna give you some recommendations. But we need to conclude with this one. Could you please, Irene, help me to read the second translator's work?
Translators work with dictionaries and glossaries to help them translate the material that's written in the source language. Although translating usually comes with a deadline, it doesn't have the real-time urgency that characterizes interpreting. The relative release of one pressure comes with the addition of another. Translation customers typically have a higher expectation of accuracy.
Okay, could you continue, Alessandra? Thank you.
In addition to the linguistic expertise, translators often specialize in a specific area, such as medical translation or translation of legal documents. The nuanced understanding and industry insight they gain in these fields help to improve the quality and accuracy of their translations.
Okay, thank you so much. Teacher, I didn't understand. Okay. To begin a translator or to begin an interpreter, please take into account you can't translate something unless you understand it. If you need to ask, or if you need to, could you please repeat it? Do it, please. Do it. Don't be shy like oh my goodness, I feel uncomfortable because I didn't understand the last part. So ask again. Could you please repeat it? Or could you please give to me another a kind of synonym? But please remember, guys, you can. ¿Y por qué les digo esto? Porque se les va a presentar la oportunidad a todos los que estudiamos esta carrera. Siempre se nos presenta la oportunidad de, mire, cree que me puede traducir, mire, cree que puede estar interpretando en este evento. Entonces, a todos nos pasa, y hay gente que se queda haciendo este business. So, remember, you can't translate something unless you understand it. And if you don't understand the text fully, you risk misinterpreting and delivering a translation that's not completely accurate, okay? So, good translators need to understand all the meaning, including all the, in this case, of the implied in the text. Implied in the text. The level of understanding requires advance. You cannot begin a translator, you cannot begin an interpreter if you don't have a lot of vocabulary, guys. Okay, because you cannot invent. By the way, supposedly, imagínate, todavía les están pagando y usted viene, viene y se pone a inventar, o sea, you can't, okay? So it is important how knowledge do you have. It is really important your vocabulary, okay? One of the tips or in this case as a recommendation that can I give to all of you is first you have to study, never stop studying, okay? You have to continue learning, okay? You have to continue learning. So look at this one. I got two questions. Both I'm gonna include it in your partial too. Do you got any idea how much is the cost to translate a document? Any idea, guys?
It depends, I think, of
Uh-huh.
the size in when it's a legal document.
For example, if I ask you to you, Mauricio, could you please help me to translate this file? So, how much is it, Mauricio? ¿Cuánto cobraría vos por traducirme un documento?
Well, if it is something about laws, I think I will I will be asking for at least $50. I would
50
say,
$50 per word, per page, or what?
but for a document of I don't know, maybe 10 pages.
10 pages. Okay. Okay, me va a salir barato, fíjate. Okay, so let's see. But thank you. Excellent. Well, okay. Irene, what about you? Any idea?
No, I have no idea.
But supposedly, if I ask you to you, Irene, could you please help me to translate this file, this document? It got 3 pages. It's about something related with the law. So please, Irene, how much is it?
150.
100 excuse me, per page.
No, I don't know how much money I will
Mhm.
um
But you have
I
to
will
be ready because in the future someone is going to ask to you, okay, how much? Porque a mí ya me ha pasado y todavía, o sea, todavía la gente me dice, mira, teacher, ¿cuánto me cobra por esto? So,
I
please.
I was talking about the document.
Ajá,
If the document has 3 pages,
ajá.
maybe $50 for page.
Okay, okay, thank you. Let's see, Ale, what about you?
Teacher, I have no idea. I think that is for text or for word, but I have no
Okay,
idea because
okay,
I know that is a service very expensive,
ajá.
and but I don't have idea.
Okay, okay, let's see, Jackie's opinion.
Okay, in my case, I will ask first how many pages the document has,
Mm-hmm.
and it depends on the person who is. Okay, if my family, I will be a little bit more considered with him.
Ajá.
But
Hey,
if
your
not,
family is going to ask you like, hey, could you please do it by free? Because it's our
yes, of course,
family.
yes,
Okay,
and
so,
or close family, yes.
ajá. Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I will maybe $10 per page.
Okay, in this case, we are talking about your family, but supposedly the Ministerio de Obras Públicas is asking to you, how much is it?
Maybe 20.
Okay, no, nice. I like it. Okay. I like Alessandra's and Jackie's opinion because when someone said to you, hey, could you please help me to translate? Obviously, they are asking because they are going to pay to you. So the first you have to do is, how many pages do you got? Or how many pages does the document have? Question number 2 is about what? For example, is related with something legally, is related with the law, or is just a homework for your kids or something. Okay, it's necessary to ask first. Before to give your price, it's necessary to know what kind of document is it. Okay, so the general is, and look at this one. How much is the cost to translate a document? Look at this one. 5 cents per word. Okay. One of my advices to all of you, my dearest and intelligent students, never translate a document like, okay, how many pages? Because in this case, estamos regalando su trabajo. The cost is 5 cents per word. It doesn't matter if it is a document that comes from the government, or it doesn't matter if it is about law. It doesn't matter. Okay, the requirement for as an English teacher for to all of you is 5 cents per word. Okay. Number 2, how much is the cost to translate using consecutive interpretation? What is simultaneous and what is consecutive interpretation? We were studying before. Do you remember what's the difference between simultaneous and consecutive? Que paréntesis, el mensaje que yo les mandé el viernes o el sábado, no el viernes, porque el fines de semana no mando mensajes. El viernes les mandé este show de esa, Eli se llama. A mí me encantan los shows de ellas porque son muy buenos para practicar inglés, o sea, lo que es el listening. Entonces, yo les puse ahí que era simultáneo, pero en realidad era una interpretación consecutiva. Entonces, ¿alguien me puede decir cuál es la diferencia entre una interpretación, porque es pregunta de parcial? ¿Cuál es la diferencia entre simultáneo y consecutivo? Any idea? 5, 4, 3,
Teacher,
2, yes.
I think that simultaneous will be like when you when I think in the moment, and for me consecutive is like more formal.
Okay, thank you, Irene, because you are always ready to participate in class and I really take into account. So, the difference is very easy to identify. In this case, consecutive is when you are at the back or next to your opponent and your opponent speak English, make a pause and you translate. Simultaneous is like when your opponent is speaking and you are translating at the same time, without pauses. ¿Se han fijado ustedes cuando son los concursos de belleza? Que la persona, o sea, yo recuerdo que Daniel Rooks, no sé si lo conocieron a él o lo conocen, porque no se ha muerto. Yo recuerdo que Daniel Rooks era una de las personas que iba simultáneamente interpretando, porque, o sea, la persona hablaba en inglés, pero él no tenía, o sea, no podía esperar que la persona hiciera pausa, porque para comenzar, él no estaba en el evento. Él nos traducía a nosotros simultáneamente, sin pausas. No sé si alguna vez se dieron cuenta de eso. O sea, bueno, yo como en ese me fijo en todo, pero en el concurso de belleza iba la persona, el ponente, el que está encargado del pageant, ¿cómo que se llama? Del concurso este. Entonces, y él iba al mismo tiempo, simultáneamente traduciendo. Consecutive es lo que yo hice hace 3 semanas, que la persona hablaba en inglés y él hacía pausa y yo traducía. Él hablaba en inglés, hacía pausa y yo traducía. Entonces, how much is the cost to translate using consecutive interpretation? Look at guys, $20 per hour. Okay. In my case, I did it as a free because this is just they were asking for help, okay, because what at the church. O sea, no le iba a cobrar a la gente de la iglesia porque no, it's not a professional. It wasn't professional. But in a professional way, the cost is $20 per hour. $20 per hour. I remember 5 years ago, I had the opportunity to begin in the órgano legislativo. So they asked me if I can begin a translator because a group conference New York, maybe I cannot remember the city. But it was a really good experience. It was a really good experience. But in this case, when we are talking about, my dearest students, when we are talking about business, you have this, in this case, you have to get a degree. So let me show you something, please. Les quiero mostrar algo. Quiero ver si está aquí. Dije que lo iba a tener listo. Vamos a ver. Okay. Let me show you something, please. If you are talking about business, Yes, I can speak English. I got my degree as a professor, but talking about business, look at my screen. Este es uno de los degrees que usted tiene que tener. O sea, usted no puede cobrarle a una persona 5 centavos por palabra, $20 por hora, si usted no ha sacado una especialización en eso. Por ejemplo, en este caso, yo saqué una especialización en la estructura y la ética. ¿Por qué? Porque la estructura es cuando nosotros hablamos en la forma gramatical, todo lo que incluye lo que es la lingüística, todo lo que incluye en esto, lo que es el vocabulario, todo lo que incluye lo que es la diferencia entre el inglés británico, entre el inglés estadounidense, entre el inglés canadiense, etc. Entonces, la estructura es todo lo que nosotros vemos y estudiamos como licenciados en idioma inglés. La ética es desde cómo usted se para enfrente de las personas, de su forma de vestir, y muchas veces en este caso a usted le piden que lleve una vestimenta formal. Las señoritas no podemos ir de jeans, no podemos ir con ropa colorica, o sea, siempre nos piden que vayamos de negro, de negro. ¿Por qué? Para no llamar la atención, porque el foco no es usted, el foco es la persona que está a la par suya. Entonces, en este caso, el degree que yo saqué fue la estructura y la ética de la traducción y la interpretación. Porque recuerde, traducir e interpretar son dos cosas distintas. Son dos cosas distintas. Entonces, yo le recomiendo a usted en este caso que sería bueno que sacaran ¿cómo se llama? Una tipo de especialización así. ¿Por qué? Porque todo ayuda, porque en este caso recuerde, o sea, nosotros estamos estudiando, lo hacemos por vocación, pero también es bueno pues tener su entrada de pisto, ¿verdad? Porque para eso ustedes están invirtiendo, para en un futuro usted puede recoger en este caso. So, I got 1, 2, and 3 tests. I'm going to make sure, in this case you are free. If you want, you can interpret, or if you want, you can translate. I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Read the paragraph first, okay? Read the paragraph first. And please, my dearest, because this is my first evaluation for module number 2, be ready to translate or be ready to interpret. Now, the first one is try to know what kind of test it is. Try to get involved because you are going to translate or you are going to interpret. So I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Okay, let's see. Ok, Irene, como tú fuiste la primera en ingresar, te voy a dar el chance de que elijas a uno de tus compañeros, por favor. So choose
Ya mejor me
between.
pongo voluntario, teacher.
Okay, thank you, Mauricio. Okay, thank you, Irene. No, thank you, Irene. It's not
Okay.
necessary. Okay, please, Mauricio, but wait. Could you please help me to choose the next one in order to be ready to?
Anita está Anita. No,
Let's
sí,
see,
está
Anita, yes, but I don't know, Anita, is your internet working? Is your microphone?
Can you hear me?
Excellent, yes,
Okay.
yes,
Ok,
perfect, thank you.
¿qué voy a hacer? Traducir.
It's your option. It's okay if you feel more comfortable, translation, okay, do it. But if you want to interpret it, I mean, if you want to translate what you understand, that is interpretation, do it. You got the option, okay.
Ok. Ok, el inglés es un idioma internacional. Es el lenguaje del comercio y de los intercambios alrededor del mundo. Tiene una rica literatura y es un vasto almacenamiento de conocimiento. Tiene una tremenda influencia en la cultura y en los idiomas regionales. También es necesitada por las áreas de la ciencia y la educación técnica. Estudios de grado superior en muchos campos no son posibles sin el conocimiento del inglés. De hecho, el inglés es una ventana al mundo moderno, a la cultura y a la civilización. Y si es propiamente usado, puede hacer... I don't understand this last part.
Indian language rich. O sea, puede hacer en este caso el idioma indio más.
El idioma.
Más que
Entonces
rich.
puede enriquecer la lengua india.
And you use it is if it is properly studied, but you didn't use estudiado. You use a synonym.
I thought. I forgot, but yes.
Okay, nice. Thank you. Really nice as usual. Thank you, Mauri. Anita, ready?
El inglés es...
Oh, wait, Princess. Could you please help me to choose between Alessandra or Irene?
Irene.
Okay, Irene, please be ready.
El inglés es un lenguaje internacional. Es el lenguaje de viaje y comercio en todo el mundo. Tiene una rica literatura y pastor, I don't know what is pastor, de conocimiento. Tiene una tremenda influencia en nuestra cultura y en los lenguajes regionales. Todavía es necesitado para la educación científica y técnica. Estudios superiores en muchos campos no se pueden llevar a cabo sin el conocimiento del inglés. De hecho, el inglés es una ventana para el mundo moderno, la cultura y la civilización. Si es propiamente estudiado, puede can make Indian language. Puede enriquecer el idioma. I don't know.
Indian? What is Indian? Ajax, what is Indian? Oops, Anita? Yes, thank you. What is Indian, guys? Hey, what is Indian? If it is properly studied, it can make Indian language rich. ¿Qué idioma o qué lenguaje va a enriquecer? Ajá.
El lenguaje indio.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Don't get afraid. Okay, thank you, Irene. Please go ahead. And then Alessandra.
Ok. El inglés es un lenguaje internacional. Es el lenguaje del comercio alrededor del mundo tiene una literatura y suficientes tiendas de conocimiento, ha sido influenciado, tremendamente, ha influenciado tremendamente en nuestra cultura y lenguaje regional. Todavía necesitado para educación científica y técnica, más altos estudios en muchos campos no son posibles sin el conocimiento del inglés. De hecho, el inglés es una ventana hacia nuestro mundo moderno, la cultura y la civilización. Si eso es propiamente estudiado, eso puede enriquecer el lenguaje de India.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, Alessandra, and I'm going to conclude with Jackie. Okay, please, Ale, go ahead.
Inglés es un lenguaje internacional. Esta es la lengua es el idioma del lenguaje alrededor del mundo. Es el idioma del comercio alrededor del mundo, perdón. Tiene una rica literatura y un vasto campo de conocimiento. Este tiene una tremenda influencia de cultura y idioma regional. Este es aún necesitado por científicos y tecnología y educación tecnológica. Altos estudios en muchos campos no son posibles sin el conocimiento del inglés. De hecho, el inglés es una ventana de nuestro mundo moderno, cultural y civilización. Esto, si es apropiadamente estudiado, puede ser enriquecido el lenguaje hindú.
Thank you so much. Okay, Jackie, are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, please, before to start, could you please, my dearest student, bus store, be ready in order to give to me a synonym but in Spanish. Look for a synonym to bus store. There is a perfect one. There is a perfect one in Spanish, but I would like to listen your opinions too. Look for a synonym in Spanish for bus store. Okay, Jackie, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Inglés es el idioma es un idioma internacional. Es el idioma del comercio alrededor del mundo. Tiene rica literatura y una variedad de tiendas de conocimiento. Tiene una tremenda influencia en nuestra cultura y lenguaje regional. Es aún necesitado por científicos y educación técnica. Altos estudios en muchos campos no son posibles sin el conocimiento del inglés. De hecho, inglés es una ventana de nuestro mundo moderno, cultura y civilización. Sin estudios apropiados, puede hacer un idioma rico, un idioma indio rico. Ay, no sé esto.
Enriquecido. Rich.
Enriquecido.
Ok, yo creo que Jackie fue la única que tradujo, y ahí los demás utilizaron interpretación. So, bus store, it has a rich literature and a vast store of knowledge. As a volunteer, could you please give us your synonym in Spanish? Bus store. There is a perfect one. Tal vez alguien la logró conseguir o alguien la logró identificar o la encontró. Bus store.
Teacher, I don't know, but I translate like almacén o no sé, como algo así como un conjunto de cosas que puedes, cuando
Ok.
la necesitas las agarras. No sé las palabras en español.
Ok, excellent, Mauri, thank you. Another, please. Mauri got a sense of the word pastor. Okay. My future professors, ladies,
I
ladies.
don't know, maybe tiene una suficiente tienda de conocimiento. I don't know.
Ok, tienda de conocimiento, ok, tienda, ok. Another, please, my ladies.
Extenta variedad.
Ok, una variedad, ok. One more, please.
Un repertorio tal vez. Teacher.
Un repertorio, ok.
Yo bastante, un gran campo, así
Un
lo
gran,
interpreté.
ok. Ahora bien, vea si la palabra que usted me ha dado se adapta al texto. Nadie me dijo la palabra correcta, pero sí me dieron sinónimo. No, perdón, no era así la palabra. Nadie me dijo la palabra clave, pero sí me dieron buenos sinónimos, pero ninguno de los sinónimos, tal vez el de Ale creo que se apegó un poquito más. Ale, ¿cuál fue el que me dijiste tú?
Dije una expresión, un gran campo, no sé.
Un gran campo, ok. Ahora, si la palabra que usted pensó, se adecua al texto, estamos muy bien. Porque como vimos al inicio, ¿a dónde estaba acá? Quiero ver. Como vimos al inicio, por aquí creo que es, aquí está. No podemos parafrasear. It means we cannot invent. You cannot translate unless you understand. So, it has a rich literature and a vast store. It means like y tiene una gran gama. Por ahí alguien me mencionó variedad, creo que fue Anita. Tiene una gran gama de conocimientos. ¿Ok? Entonces, pero si usted lo traduce como que es una tienda de vender artículos, estamos parafraseando y eso no es correcto. Entonces, por eso les decía, cuando nosotros hacemos esto como un business, tenemos que tener las habilidades necesarias. Por eso es necesario estudiar y sacar un degree aparte. ¿Ok? Entonces, base store en este caso cuando tiene una gran gama de conocimientos. ¿Ok? Y yo creo que Jackie fue la única que tradujo y no es que ella lo hizo mejor o que ustedes lo hicieron mejor que ella, sino que ustedes pueden utilizar la forma con la que ustedes se sientan más cómodos. Teacher, I feel more comfortable. I feel more comfortable using the technique of interpret. Teacher, I feel more comfortable using the technique to translate. Okay, so it's your option. It's your option. It's your option. But remember, it depends on the stage too. Okay, so look at this one. This is the second paragraph. I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Try to get involved and I'm going to start in 60 seconds. Teacher, the second reading is easier. No, it's not. No, it's not. Maybe you feel that but kind of that easier, but because you have a previously experience. Okay? Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do we have any volunteer who wants to start first? Any volunteer, please? 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so Mauricio, could you please, because you were participating as a volunteer in the first one, so could you please choose between Jackie and choose a lady, please?
Jackie.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. Could you please help me to interpret or help me to translate the test? Oops, thank you, Jackie. Are you ready?
Okay.
Excellent, thank you. Go ahead.
A esta etapa, el hábito de lectura ayuda a los estudiantes a estar preparados por la por la brecha de aspectos en la vida. Es la etapa que crea su futuro, es estudiar las mejores notas de los estudiantes en los exámenes, si ellos tienen el hábito de lectura. Es porque ellos no escriben dependiendo del libro individual, pero ellos leen muchos libros en una materia particular y escriben su versión de lo que ellos crean la diferencia.
Now, Jackie, you're interpret. You weren't translating, so how do you feel more comfortable? I mean, Jackie, you feel more comfortable to begin an interpreter or to begin a translator?
Translating.
Why?
Because if you know the vocabulary is easier, but if interpreted, probably you don't know, because you have to make sense.
It catch my attention, Jackie, because when you translate, it means that you got a lot of vocabulary. That's why that's why English teachers prefer to interpret in order to begin a translator, because an interpreter can use synonym, cannot invent, but can use synonym. But translator is when you translate the idiom into your native language. That catch my attention because most of the students prefers to interpret because if you are begin as a translator or if you are translating something, it refers that you got a lot of knowledge. Okay, a base stored. Okay, thank you so much. Let's see, could you please help me to choose one student? Thank you.
Ale.
Okay, Alessandra, please go ahead.
Ok. En esta fase, el hábito de leer ayuda a los estudiantes sobre estar preparados para otros aspectos de la vida. Esta fase que crea su futuro. Los estudiantes obtienen mejores calificaciones en los exámenes si ellos han tenido el hábito de leer. Eso es porque ellos no escriben dependiendo de un solo libro, pero ellos leen una variedad de libros en una particular materia y escriben su versión de esto que crea la diferencia.
Thank you so much, Ale. Choose one student, please.
Irene.
Okay, Irene, go ahead.
A esta etapa, el hábito de leer ayuda a los estudiantes a estar preparados para los más amplios aspectos de su vida. Es la etapa que crea su futuro. Los estudiantes obtienen mejores resultados en los exámenes si ellos tienen el hábito de leer. Es porque ellos no escriben dependiendo de un único libro. Ellos leen muchos libros en una materia en particular y escriben su versión de la cual ellos crean la diferencia.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's see. Choose, please, one student.
Ana.
Okay, Anita, please go ahead, and I'm going to conclude with Mauricio.
En esta etapa, el hábito de la lectura ayuda a los estudiantes para prepararse para los aspectos más amplios de la vida. Es la etapa que crea su futuro. Los estudiantes sacan mejores calificaciones en sus exámenes si tienen el hábito de la lectura. Esto es porque ellos no tienen que escribir dependiendo de un libro en específico, sino que ellos leen diferentes libros en una materia en particular y ellos escriben su versión de lo que creen que crea la diferencia.
Okay, Mauri, thank you, Anita. I'm going to finish with you, Mauri. Go ahead.
Ok. En esta etapa, los hábitos de lectura ayudan a los estudiantes a estar preparados para aspectos más amplios de la vida. En esta etapa crean su futuro. Los estudiantes obtienen una mejor puntuación en exámenes si ellos tienen el hábito de la lectura. Esto es porque ellos no escriben escriben basándose en un solo libro, sino que ellos leen múltiples libros sobre una materia en particular y escriben la versión de lo que crea la diferencia.
Okay, it catch my attention. Thank you, Mauri. It catch my attention because all of you use the technique to interpret. But I got the word stage and I got the word multiply. Most of you said stage in order to say fase. La mayoría creo que dijo fase. Otros creo que dijeron etapas. Multiply. Algunos dijeron muchos, otros dijeron varios, otros dijeron diferentes. At this stage, o sea, ya en este escenario, stage, it catch my attention because stage is escenario. The real translation is escenario. The meaning is escenario. But it catch my attention because you use synonyms. But fase, it is the same with escenario? No, it's not, right? Fase, it is the same with escenario because stage. Stage. So, cuando a veces dice la gente, the stage is yours. El escenario es tuyo. Okay? The stage is yours. So, most of you said etapa en fase. Is it fixed with the test? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm not meaning like, okay, you're wrong. No, you're not. No, you're not. But be careful because in this paragraph, in the first line, at this stage, you can use synonym, but not paraphrasing. Because paraphrasing is when you are inventing. Okay? Multiply. Ya acá, muchos libros. Podíamos haber dicho múltiples libros. In order to give a reference that we got many options, okay? So, let's finish with the third one. Esta es la última lectura. I'm going to give you 60 seconds in order to get involved, please, okay? In order to get involved. So, this is the last reading for today. Okay. As a volunteer, please, who's ready? Or may I choose by myself?
Me.
Okay, Mauri, please. Before to start, could you please choose between Alessandra, Irene, or Jackie?
Irene.
Okay, Irene, please be ready.
Ok. Leer un periódico es un buen hábito que puede proporcionar un gran sentido de el valor educacional. Trae consigo información acerca de política, economía, entretenimiento, deportes, negocios, industria, intercambios y comercio. Con este hábito no solo será ampliado tu conocimiento acerca de información general, sino que también asimismo mejoras tus habilidades en inglés y vocabulario. Mucha gente tiene hábitos de lectura, hábitos de leer diariamente periódicos, que que los días parecen incompletos cuando ellos no le echan un vistazo en la mañana a los periódicos.
Excellent. Thank you, Mauri. Could you please, you said Irene, right?
Yes.
Okay, Irene, go ahead.
Leer el periódico es un buen hábito que puede proveer un excelente sentido de el valor de la educación. Eso lleva la información sobre política, economía, entretenimiento, deporte, negocios, industria, oficios y comercio. Con este hábito, eso no solamente capacita tu conocimiento sobre información general, pero eso también mejorará tus habilidades en el inglés y el vocabulario. Mucha gente tiene los hábitos de leer diariamente periódicos que sus días podrían parecer incompletos sin mantener temprano cada mañana los periódicos.
Okay, thank you. Please choose one student.
Ale.
Okay, Ale, please, go ahead.
Ok, leer el periódico es un buen hábito que puede proveer un gran sentido de valores educativos. Este provee información sobre política, economía, entretenimiento, deportes, negocios, industria, economía y comercio. Con este hábito, esto no solo incrementará tu conocimiento sobre la información general, de igual forma mejorará tus habilidades del inglés y vocabulario. Mucha gente tiene el hábito de leer diariamente el periódico. En sus días parecen incompletos sin tomarse el tiempo temprano para leer el periódico.
Okay, Ale, thank you so much. Could you please see who's the last one? I think it's Jackie. Okay, thank you, Jackie. I'm gonna conclude with you, please.
Ok. Leer periódicos es un buen hábito que puede proveer un gran sentido de valor educacional. Él trae información sobre política, economía, entretenimiento, deporte, negocio, industria y comercio. Con este hábito no solo amplías tu conocimiento sobre formación general, sino también asimismo mejoras tus habilidades de inglés y vocabulario. Mucha gente tiene el hábito de leer diariamente el periódico, que sus días parecen incompletos sin tomarse el tiempo de sostener temprano en la mañana el periódico, tal vez para leerlo.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, my dearest students. So now we are going to take a break. We are going to take a break for 6 minutes. So I'm going to, let's see, what time is it? It's 8:24. So regresamos a las 8:30. Vamos a tomarnos un pequeño break y Cuando regresemos, le voy a dar unas pequeñas indicaciones. Voy con la primera evaluación y la evaluación la voy a hacer en clase, o sea, eso va a ser evaluado ahorita. Eso ya va para el módulo número 2, paréntesis. Solo estoy pidiendo que me den autorización porque ya tengo las notas del ciclo 01, nivel 1. Solo estoy esperando que me den autorización para subirle las notas al portal de inglés. Así es que me den la autorización, les voy a subir las notas a su portal. Ahorita lo que ustedes pueden hacer es refrescar la página de link del examen, de su parcial, para que vean ya cómo les quedó la nota final. Y si no les refresca por A o B motivo, no se preocupen, pero como les repito, solo estoy esperando la autorización para subir los cuadros de notas, porque ya los tengo. Señores, regresamos a las 8:30 y vamos con la primera evaluación del nivel y del módulo, mejor dicho, número 2. Tomémonos un pequeño break. Okay, my dearest students, let's continue. Before to start with your first evaluation, I got this one. Types of interpretation. There are two main styles of interpretation, which interpreters use, depending on their circumstances and needs of the two parties involved. They can be described as a follow. Look at this one. The first one is simultaneous, and then second is consecutive interpretation. Simultaneous interpretation requires intense concentration. Delivery comes at almost the same time as the speakers uses for words in the source languages. The time delay is minimal. Look at this one. The time delay is minimal. So the interpreter must listen to, convert, and speak the new words almost immediately. Simultaneous interpretation works best when interpreters speed up, letting one person take a vocal and mental breather every few minutes. Okay, I got a video related with the simultaneous interpretation, so please pay attention.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand that?
Sí.
Yes.
You also have the right to counsel. If you're unable to afford counsel, this court will appoint counsel to represent you. Are you able to afford an attorney?
No.
No.
Do you wish me to appoint counsel to represent you?
Sí.
Yes.
And toward that end, have you filled out this financial affidavit?
Sí.
Yes.
Can I be satisfied that the information here is true and correct?
Sí.
Yes.
Raise your right hand.
Levante la mano derecha.
Do you solemnly swear that the information on this financial affidavit is true, correct, and complete, so help you God?
Veraz, correcta y completa, jura por Dios.
Sí, lo juro.
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's continue. This is simultaneous. Now look at
Now,
consecutive.
Ms. Wu,
Oops.
we heard some testimony that
My
this
God,
kind of
no
matrix
way.
display that's depicted on
Okay, excuse me, I'm so sorry for that. Okay, consecutive interpretation. In consecutive interpretation, the interpreter speaks after the first person completes a sentence. This type of interpretation, y esta es la que ustedes van a utilizar ahorita, this type of interpretation with a more noticeable time delay works well in scenarios where the time it isn't as limited, such as informal conversation. That's the style, that's the technique you are going to use for the first evaluation. But please, before you start, because I know you are ready, see what is consecutive or an example of consecutive interpretation.
Can you tell the ladies and gentlemen what happened, please?
¿Puede decirle a las señoras y señores qué fue lo que sucedió, por favor?
Estábamos sentados afuera echándonos unos tragos, fumando, usted sabe, haciendo cosas que no deberíamos estar haciendo en realidad. Estábamos sentados allá atrás comiendo plátanos y otras bobadas.
We were sitting there, we were drinking, we were smoking, we were doing things that we weren't supposed to be doing. We were sitting back there having plantains and other stuff.
Would you please be specific? Would you tell the ladies and gentlemen what you were smoking?
Entre en detalle, por favor. Dígale a las señoras y señores qué es lo que estaba fumando.
Estábamos fumando marihuana. Yo estaba fumando con unos amigos y acababa de salir del trabajo porque salí un poquito más temprano ya que yo soy capataz.
We were smoking marijuana. I was smoking with some friends. I had gotten out of work a little early because I'm the foreman.
Can you tell the ladies and gentlemen what happened from that point forward?
Dígale, por favor, a las señoras y señores qué fue lo que sucedió a partir de ese momento.
Bueno, estábamos sentados ahí reunidos, conversando, usted sabe, simplemente pasándolo como la gente común y corriente hace todos los días.
Well, we were there, we were sitting, gathered together, chatting the way people do normally.
Bueno, y yo estaba fumando marihuana, tomando mezcal en esos momentos.
Well, and I was smoking marijuana and drinking mezcal at that point in time.
Yeah. Y alguien gritó, dijo, mierda, es la chota, y no sé de dónde salió la policía, pero de repente estaban ahí corriendo hacia nosotros.
And someone screamed, shit, it's the cops. And I don't know where the police came from, but suddenly they ran toward us.
Y dejé caer el vaso de guaro y el pitillo que yo tenía, en la mano, la marihuana que yo tenía en la mano, y la tiré y corrí.
What is pitillo? What is pitillo, guys?
A ver. Ahí sí.
Ok. El cigarette.
Sí, es como donde lo envuelven. Lo
Y
que hacen.
Y fíjate que también lo tricky aquí, que pitillo le dicen también a las pajillas. O sea, imagínate, o sea, pero en este caso, ¿por qué se entiende como cigarro? Porque estamos hablando del tema, o sea, no voy a decir y tire la pajilla, ¿verdad? O sea, ese tipo de detalles, pues, pero pitillo para los mexicanos también es pajilla. Lo que vendría siendo en inglés es straw. Straw. O sea, la pajilla en inglés, en este caso, es straw.
And I let the booze drop and the joint drop. I dropped the marijuana I had in my hand and ran.
Can you tell the
Okay. Easy peasy. Okay, this is your first evaluation. Is going to be my attendance. This is a practice number 1. Please, my dearest students, take into account the rules because you have to follow it. So number 1, you are going to make couples. You are going to work in pairs, okay? You are going to work in pairs. Choose a topic. In this case, you have the option to choose any topic. If you want to talk about your life, in order to, okay, I'm going to talk about by myself. If you want to talk about the violence in El Salvador, in order to give us your opinion, I mean, free topic, okay? It doesn't matter. If you want to talk about your dog, do it, okay? Because this is just a practice 1, an evaluation 1, and is also your attendance. So the topic is free. For this time, the topic is free. But for the consecutive, for the continuous topics, I'm going to give you them because you need to have knowledge. You need to practice vocabulary in order to continue improving. So, but for this time, my ladies and my gentlemen, you have to choose a free topic, the topic that you feel more comfortable to speak about. Number 3, one is going, okay, this is a grammar mistake. One will be the speaker, it means the ponente, o sea, la persona que va a estar hablando, and the second will be the translator, okay? The translator or the interpreter, okay? So one is going to be the ponent or the speaker, and the second will be the translator or the interpreter. And the last rule is, in this case, your presentation for today, not for tomorrow, this is for today class, must last no more than 5 minutes. Un tiempo bien, o sea, ¿qué son 5 minutos? So, no more than 5 minutes, okay? But please, okay, at least 5 minutes. Por lo menos 5 minutos. No me va a salir con 30 segundos, 2 minutos. Por lo menos 5 minutos, punto. O sea, acabar los 5 minutos, no nos podemos pasar de 5 minutos, pero sí quiero, en este caso, yo voy a tener el timer y necesito que usted mantenga una fluidez con su pareja de 5 minutos. But before to start, I got some tips. Number 1, for this stage, you have the option to translate or B, an interpret. If you feel more comfortable with a specific, do it, please. Breathe. Remember, you are going to use the consecutive. You are going to use the consecutive. And for the people, in this case, for the people that is going to be the opponent, remember you have to give at least 2 or 3 seconds to your interpreter, because he or she needs to understand first and then to translate or interpret it. But please, both of you, you have to breathe, okay? Breathe all the time. Number 3, meet your opponent. If you have the opportunity to get a previous meeting with your opponent, do it, please. Do it, please, because you need to know about him or her, in order to give to know about her voice or his voice, her or his tone of voice. If you can, or if you had the opportunity to know what kind of topic he's going to or she's going to speak about. So my tip number 3, if you have the opportunity to meet your opponent, please do it, okay? Take some minutes. Take some minutes because it's necessary, okay? And number 4, this is one of the most important, because as I said previously in the morning, one of the disadvantages that I got 3 weeks ago is that I have been not practicing. That's why I get confused at the first time and I got nervous. So please never stop practicing by yourself. If you didn't have the opportunity yet, but just do it, okay? Invent a stage and please practice. Okay, my dearest students, and the last one is drink water all the time. Drink water all the time. So let's go back. Now, I'm going to give you 23 minutes. You are going to work in couples. You are going to work in couples. I'm going to give you 23 minutes. Choose a topic. Decide who is going to be the opponent. Decide who is going to be the translator or the interpreter. And practice. I'm going to give you 23 minutes. And I'm going to start the first evaluation at 9 a.m. So, any question, any doubt, or everything is clear like horchata? 5, 4.
Is consecutive, teacher.
Consecutive, yes, consecutive.
Okay.
Okay, another please. 5, 4, 3, 2. Ok, chicos, yo me voy a quedar en Zoom. Si usted necesita salirse de Zoom para ponerse de acuerdo con su pareja, hágalo. Yo voy a seguir en Zoom, no voy a parar la clase. Y retomamos a las 9. Si usted dice, no, teacher, no hay problema, me puedo quedar en Zoom y al mismo tiempo reunirme con mi pareja, porque ¿saben qué? Se me olvidó averiguarme cómo era que se formaban grupos en Zoom y dije que iba a preguntar. Así que, señores, Anita me dijo Eli que ella va a trabajar contigo, así que lo que puedes comenzar a hacer, hija, es buscar un tema y en este caso para estar listas para la siguiente, bueno, no para la siguiente clase, tendrían que ver más o menos cómo me lo pueden mandar, pero ahí después te ponen de acuerdo con ella porque me dijo Eli que seguiría contigo en esta evaluación, ¿ok? So, señores, a las 9 retomo. Ojo, aquí estoy, cualquier duda o consulta, aquí estoy. Chicos, si me necesitan, regálenme 2 minutos, ya regreso. 10 minutes. 10 minutos, señores. 10 minutos.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes, please.
We are not going to write anything, right?
If not necessary, no. Don't do it. In the previous video, if you see the woman, the lady was taking notes, right? But if you don't need it, don't do it.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, my dear, it's 2 minutes left. So let me know if you're ready or do you need more time? Extra time?
Yes, teacher. Extra time, please.
Okay, 5 minutes is gonna be enough for you? 5 minutes? More?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. So 7 minutes, okay? 7 minutes left. Okay, my dearest. So I hope you're ready. Before to start, remember the tips. And one of the most important is drink water, please. It doesn't matter if you're going to be the opponent. It doesn't matter if you're going to be the translators. Don't forget to have always a bottle of water. Okay, so as a volunteer, well, I don't know what happened with Alessandra. Yes, I don't know what happened with her. So let's see. Let's see, Anita, Ellie is going to be your partner. So Irene, who's your partner, please?
Jackie.
Okay, let me know, ladies, if you're ready. Well, yours was lady. Always ready, please. Okay, Irene, please let me know if you're ready with your partner.
Be honest, I am not ready, but I don't know if my partner want to pass.
Okay, Jackie, please.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so who is going to be the opponent?
Irene.
Okay, in this case, Jackie, are you going to be the interpreter or the translator?
Yes.
Which one? Interpreter or translator?
I think interpreter, but I don't know if she wants.
Okay, excellent. So my ladies, before to start, please remember, breathe, don't get nervous. And in this case, Irene, because you are the opponent, you have to give to your partner at least 2 or 3 seconds, okay? Make a pause, 2 or 3 seconds, because you need to leave to her in order to give time to her to translate or interpret. Okay, ladies, please go ahead.
Okay. Talking about the delinquents in El Salvador is an interesting topic.
Hablar de delincuencia en El Salvador es un tema interesante.
According to the news, El Salvador is considered like the most dangerous country.
De acuerdo a las noticias, El Salvador es conocido como uno de los más peligrosos en el mundo.
Because here in El Salvador, there are two groups of delinquents.
Porque aquí en El Salvador hay dos grupos de delincuencia.
We have MS-13 and 18 and 18.
Tenemos dos grupos, uno es MS y el otro 18.
They fight each other and even they hate each other.
Ellos pelean unos contra otros y también se odian.
They create some laws that you have to follow if you live here or even if you visit some of your family.
Ellos crean algunas reglas aquí en El Salvador que tú tienes que seguir si vives aquí, si quieres visitar a tu familia.
In the city is totally different because you don't follow all the laws.
En la ciudad es diferente porque tú no puedes seguir todas las reglas.
But in a case if a rural area, that these places are most dangerous.
Pero en el caso de las áreas rurales, el caso es aún más peligroso.
For example, if you are a girl or If you are a boy, you cannot wear whatever shoes.
Por ejemplo, si tú eres una dama o un caballero, no puedes vestir cualquier tipo de zapatilla.
There are places that you shouldn't visit.
Hay lugares que tú no deberías visitar.
Nos quedan 2 minutos.
According to the news, Soyapango is the most dangerous place.
De acuerdo a las noticias, Soyapango es el lugar más peligroso.
You shouldn't visit that place, and if you visit, you don't return.
Tú no deberías visitar ese lugar y si lo haces, probablemente no regresarás.
So we have to follow the rules if you want to live here in El Salvador.
Así que si tú quieres vivir aquí en El Salvador, tienes que seguir esas reglas.
60 seconds.
So try to respect others, or you can get the solution to live in another country.
Entonces trata de respetar a los demás y probablemente la solución sea vivir en otro país.
Stop. Okay, my lady. So now we are going to switch. Jackie, you are going to be the opponent. You are going to be the speaker. And Irene, you are going to be the interpreter. Okay, ladies, please be ready. Now you got the experience too. Okay, let's see. Alessandra, Mauricio, are you ready?
Yes, teacher, we're always ready.
Excellent, I like it. So Mauricio, you're going to be the translator or the opponent?
The translator.
Okay, so excellent, Alessandra, excellent, Mauricio. So please go ahead, Irene, Jackie, remember, okay, we are going to have the second round, okay? But now we have to switch. Okay, so Ale, Mauri, go ahead.
Okay, good morning. Our topic is post-pandemic stage.
Nuestro tema es etapa de pospandemia.
Okay, if you remember the stage, the pandemic stage, you can remember something like a chaos.
Si ustedes pueden recordar en la etapa de pandemia, podemos el caos.
Because it was something uncomfortable in many areas.
Porque fue algo incómodo en bastante áreas.
As economic, business, studies, the health, etc.
Tales como la economía, los negocios, los estudios y la salud.
But principal in the economic stage was affect for everyone.
Pero principalmente en la área de la economía fue afectada para varios.
And that's why the environment changed in everything, and the prices was up higher and everything got difficult.
Por eso es que cambió a... Ok, que me puse nervioso. Ok, es por eso que cambió, causó muchos problemas en la parte salarial.
But it was amazing how the people tried to survive in the pandemic.
Pero fue sorprendente cómo las personas trataron de sobrevivir en la pandemia.
Like business in home, made home, and selling online, the deliveries.
Como los negocios en casa, los envíos desde casa y los servicios online.
And that makes the people be comfortable at home.
Eso hizo que la gente se sintiera cómoda en casa.
And that was the way that the people survived in pandemic, and we stayed at home comfortable.
Esa fue la manera en cómo sobrevivieron y se sintieron cómodos en casa durante la pandemia.
But now, when the stay home was out of the control, and we start with the new stage,
Pero ahora que el estar fuera de casa está en nuestro control y comenzamos una nueva fase,
it got difficult again for the change.
se ha vuelto difícil de vuelta por los cambios.
2 minutos.
And the price became higher, and the employees, it was difficult to find a job.
Porque los precios se han dado al alza y se ha vuelto difícil encontrar un trabajo.
But with the new model, the services are online or presential.
Pero con el nuevo modelo, los servicios se han vuelto online y semipresenciales.
Even when the prices in the economy was difficult, the people have been brave to the situation.
1 minute.
Aunque se ha vuelto difícil la situación, las personas supieron cómo salir de las dificultades.
And that's why we start this topic, because it's a process. This in progress still.
De eso es porque, por eso es que elegí este topic, porque el progreso está todavía, porque los cambios están todavía en progreso.
Por eso es que elegí este topic.
Por eso.
Ok, suele pasar. No se preocupen, que suele pasar. O sea, imagínense la regada que cometí yo cuando el predicador dijo: en África viven 8 millones de personas, y su teacher dijo que en África ellos tenían más de 8 millones de años viviendo ahí, enfrente de 600 personas. Pero, o sea, como les repito, fue al inicio, o sea, yo me sentía súper nerviosa y, o sea, y por más que uno tenga especializaciones, que esto y que no, mentira, uno siempre se pone nervioso y es normal, pero no, yo creo que una regada más grande que la que yo he hecho, creo que nadie. Ok, thank you so much. So, Mauricio, Ale, vamos a cambiar ahora los papeles. So, Mauricio, ahora tú serás el ponent, y Alessandra, you are going to be the translator. Ok, a quemarropa. No, change it.
Okay.
Or if you feel comfortable, yes, just the same topic, if you feel comfortable, but if you want it, please change it, okay? If you want it. Okay, so a quemarropa, Irene y Jackie. So, Mauricio y Ale van a tener exactamente 5 minutos en lo que sus compañeras presentan. Ustedes se están poniendo de acuerdo, ok? A quemarropa, señores, y ya con esto voy a concluir. Ok, Irene, Jackie, ready? Always, teacher, all the time. O como Irene siempre me dice, I'm not sure, but... Okay, so Irene, Jackie, are you ready, ladies?
I am ready, but I don't know if Jackie is there.
Yes, yes. Okay, who's going to be the opponent?
Me.
Okay, thank you. And the translator?
Irene.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. So, ladies, so you have 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, people. In this occasion, we are going to talk about crime in El Salvador.
Buenos días a todos. Este día vamos a hablar. Sorry, but I couldn't hear you. The topic.
The crime in El Salvador.
A technique. Okay, never apologize. Okay, okay, I'm so sorry, but just say, okay, could you please repeat it? Could you please it's not necessary to give the reasons. Okay, it's not necessary to explain it. Okay, but I'm so sorry, but I didn't understand. Just could you please repeat it? Okay, just that. Okay, well, continue.
Okay, we are going to start.
Excellent.
Okay. Good morning, people. In this occasion, we are going to talk about the crime in El Salvador.
Buenos días, gente. Este día vamos a hablar del precio en El Salvador.
Pausa. En esta segunda ronda los voy a ir corrigiendo, ¿ok? Esto lo voy a hacer con las dos parejas. So, buenos días, gente. Buenos días, gente.
Teacher, I'm sorry.
Es como
I
que,
am
o sea,
nervous.
ok, no, mi amor, pero no te preocupes, como les digo, por eso estamos en clase para que aprendan, pero buenos días, gente, es como que, mismo que seamos animales, vea. Entonces, o sea,
No.
buenos días a todos, ¿ok? Buenos días a todos, ¿ok? Podemos interpretar, acordate, porque si decimos buenos días, gente, se oye así como que muy pesadote. Entonces, buenos días a todos, vea, buenos días a todos. Ok, continue.
Okay. According to the news, El Salvador is one of the most dangerous countries in the world.
De acuerdo a las noticias, El Salvador es considerado como el país más peligroso.
Here in El Salvador, there are two dangerous groups.
En El Salvador hay dos grupos que son muy peligrosos,
which are called MS and 18 Mars.
lo cual son conocidos como la MS-13 y la 18.
Pausa. En este caso, Mars, ¿qué es Mars? ¿Te quieres referir como las maras?
Sí.
Nombre propio, maras, no cambia. Nombre propio.
Teacher,
Podemos.
but, excuse
Yes.
me, what's the meaning of gang?
Ok, ajá, eso, ajá.
It's not
Eso
like pandilla.
También, ajá, también se puede, eso iba a decir ahorita. Podemos decir, pero en este caso, Mars, o sea, Mars, en este caso es como Marte, creo que si no me equivoco. Pero entonces podemos decir guns o podemos decir en pandillas, incluso también es una palabra en inglés que también se puede decir en español también. Entonces, y maras también se utiliza. Entonces, guns, ok, como los gangsters, en este caso, pero ya gangsters ya es una palabra bien, no se puede utilizar. Entonces podemos decir en este caso los gangs o también podemos decir en este caso maras o pandillas. Grupos delicticios, también incluso lo podemos utilizar.
Okay. These two dangerous groups have created some rules for people who live in El Salvador.
Estas dos bandas peligrosas han creado algunas reglas para las personas que viven en El Salvador.
For example, you cannot wear some styles of shoes. For example, if you wear that kind of shoes, they will call your attention.
Por ejemplo, no puedes usar cualquier tipo de zapatos y si lo haces, ellos te llamarán la atención.
They are people we can say without heart because they always are caring of their group.
Ellos son personas que siempre están cuidando de su grupo.
60 segundos.
You cannot visit some specific places like Soyapango.
Tú no debes visitar en algunos lugares en específico Soyapango.
Stop. Okay, there are many ways to translate maras. O sea, we can say guns, we can say click, como la clica, click, pandilla o maras. Okay, so one advice, one of the recommendations for you ladies, be careful with the tone of voice because maybe your audience will get a kind of boring if you are like, okay, hoy les vamos a hablar de, okay, be careful with that because your audience can get boring. And in this case, you have to be careful with the tone of voice, okay? Try to be more enthusiastic, okay? Thank you, ladies. So please take a rest. Tomemos un descanso. So Alessandra and Mauricio, ready?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to finish the class with you guys. Go ahead.
Okay, our topic is about a healthy life.
Ok, buenos días. Este día hablaremos de la vida saludable.
Okay, in order to have a healthy life,
Para tener una buena salud, vida saludable,
you need to eat well, sleep well, and exercise well.
necesitas comer bien, dormir bien y ejercitarte bien.
Many people think
Muchas personas piensan
that a good diet is learning to eat.
que una buena dieta te permite comer.
But the reality is,
Pero la realidad es,
you need to have
tú necesitas tener
many kinds of food.
una variedad de comida.
For example, fish, meat, and vegetables.
Por ejemplo, pescado, carne y vegetales.
And avoid
Y evitar
with sugar.
el azúcar.
Then we have to drink much water.
Entonces nosotros tenemos que tomar más agua.
But you need to avoid to drink more water than you can.
Tienes que evitar tomar más agua de la que tú puedes.
Because you have to have other kind of problems.
Porque tú puedes obtener otra clase de problemas.
And in order to make a balance,
y para tener un balance,
2 minutos.
Also you need to do exercise.
También tienes que ejercitarte.
To waste the food and the water you took before.
Para quemar la grasa de la comida y el agua que has tenido.
But at the same time,
pero al mismo tiempo,
take a rest.
Tienes que descansar.
Because your muscles,
porque tus músculos,
take a damage every time you exercise.
Se dañan cada vez que tú te ejercitas.
That's why a good sleep.
Es por eso que deberías dormir.
Can provide a good restoration.
Que te proveerá una mejor restauración.
Stop.
Of your system.
Stop.
Yeah.
That's why, en la última parte, tú lo tradujiste.
Yeah.
Él te dijo, él te dijo un buen sueño y tú lo tradujiste. Tú deberías de dormir y de ahí el siguiente
Sí.
de ahí
Sí,
el siguiente, ok,
sí.
excelente, pero para eso estamos. Entonces, de ahí el siguiente contexto que dijiste no pegaba con el anterior, porque en este caso Mauricio te dijo un buen sueño o dormir bien, pues entonces, y tú lo tradujiste como que tú deberías de, entonces,
Sí,
pero
yo
detalles,
sé,
okay.
me di cuenta, pero no.
No, excelente. No, mira, hija, como digo, el peor oso que el que yo hice hace 3 semanas, yo creo que nadie. Ok, señores, este es el tema para mañana. Elijan ustedes igual quién va a ser el ponente y quién va a ser en este caso el que va a ir interpretando. El tema es Teenage Pregnancy, el embarazo en la adolescencia. Vamos siempre con 5 minutos, pero vamos a hacer la misma dinámica. Si yo soy ponente primero en el primer round, en el segundo round yo voy a ser el speaker, perdón, yo voy a ser el traductor. Entonces, o si yo soy el traductor en el primer round, en el segundo, en este caso, yo voy a ser el ponente o en este caso la persona que va a estar hablando. Ahora bien, en este caso, vamos siempre con las mismas reglas. 5 minutos. Yo sé que mañana lo van a hacer súper bien. Si los detalles que tuvimos ahorita fueron bien mínimos, yo sé que ustedes se van a preparar para mañana. Entonces, el tema de mañana es este: Teenage Pregnancy. Ahorita en este caso no les he pedido que activemos cámara, que la vestimenta, porque yo siento que eso no va a ser tan necesario, porque ustedes saben que tiene que ir vestido formalmente. Obviamente Mauricio no va a ir en chores y, por ejemplo, Irene no va a ir en minifalda, ¿verdad? Entonces, eso yo sé que ustedes ya saben que la vestimenta siempre tiene que ser colores oscuros, para ya sea usted caballero, en este caso sea usted señorita. Entonces, mañana, señores, iniciamos con el tema de Teenage Pregnancy. Recuerden que vamos a hacer 2 rounds. En una usted va a ser el ponente y en el segundo round usted va a ser, en este caso, el speaker o el translator o el intérprete. Ok, señores, nos vemos a las 10 de la mañana para su clase de didáctica. Recuerden, por favor, tener a la mano el PDF del libro y si no, pues de todas maneras ahí yo se los voy proyectando. Chicos, excelente trabajo como siempre. Me encanta trabajar con ustedes y de verdad lo han hecho súper, súper, súper bien. Señores, nos vemos a las 10 en punto.
Bye.
Bye.